Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the HCAM Sports Talk. In just a moment, we'll be joined by Andy Barron, Jared Keeney, and Steve Watson. But first, here are the latest Hopkinton Hiller happenings. On Tuesday, November 14th, the girls' Division I MIAA state semifinals took place. Third-seeded Hopkinton took on second-seeded Bishop Thean at BC High School. Here's a look at what happened. Along the near side, that's Eddie, and she's going to take the shot, a floater, and it's wrapped up.
Nice shot from distance from Eddie there.
Regan set for the corner. There's it out in front, and it looks like Chase got a hand on it. Towards the net, just a little high. That shot was by their leading scorer, Ava Graham.
Breakaway, she's got Joe running with her.
Georgie approaching, takes it, and it's wrapped up.
Great shot for Georgie Clark. I don't mind that was 20 yards out. I mean, she has got a rocket, but well, what do we say?
Towards the net, wrapped up.
You can't
nice
stop
shot
her.
by DuPont. It was a scoreless game heading into the second half. And they're going, they're looking for the give and go there. It's sent upfield.
That was great. Georgie read that short corner like a book.
Aired out, wrapped up by Chase.
That was a good shot from
Maybe
35
the best shot
yards.
of the evening so far by Madison Eddy. Out in front. There's a shot wrapped up by Chase.
Another good shot, another good save by Ayla Chase.
Aired out, and it's in! A goal for Bishop Thean. Right off the corner she goes.
Yeah, I don't think that even touched anybody. I think that just one bent right in on the far post. That's what we were talking about. They're absolutely lethal on those set plays, and they showed us why.
Madison
no one
Eddy
was covering the far post.
Madison Eddy makes it 1-0. Something going here. DuPont towards the net, and it's just wide.
Great shot, Joe DuPont. Loved that shot. Didn't miss by much.
And there's your final whistle. Bishop Thean has defeated the Hillers 1-0, and they are advancing to the Division I state championship. Madison Eddy strikes for the Shamrocks at 17-19 left to go in regulation, and that would be the only goal of the game. Bishop Thean hangs on and gets the 1-0 win over the Hillers to advance to the Division I state championship. Hopkinton's incredible season comes to an end with 20 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. Bishop Thean remains undefeated at 20-0-1 heading into the finals. Congratulations on an incredible season to Coach Skiba and the team. You should be very proud of what you accomplished. On Wednesday, November 15th, the Boys Division II MIAA state semifinals took place. 8th-seeded Hopkinton took on 5th-seeded Wakefield at Woburn High School. Here's a look at what happened. Looking to send it out. They'll send it back over to Gagne. Now it's back up the far side, and at the net, wrapped up. Sends it up. Looking to get into the attack zone. That's off the crossbar and sent out.
Great cross.
Good power on that one. Header. And it is!
That's a goal. That is
gonna
a
be a
goal.
goal. Hillers!
Wonderful play from the Hillers.
Andrew Bilo.
You had Will Bilobreski with that laser, threw a dart in, and it just caromed off the defender and to the waiting foot of Andrew Bilobreski on the far post. What a combination for the Hillers.
It went off the crossbar, just landed over the line. Looked like he was hoping for a nice angled shot there, but Hatherley ruined those plans. There's a shot. What a save by Silva.
Incredible.
That was Liberty on the shot. Airs it out towards the net, and it's deflected.
Good punch out by Owen Silva, but he took a shot, didn't he?
Wakefield looking to drive down. Here goes Casey. Approaching, it's in.
Yeah,
we're tied up.
He is a clinical striker. That's why he's got 20 goals on the season. You'd give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
It was a 1-1 game heading into the second half.
All right, so what do you expect in the rest of this game?
Well, I expect we have tremendous seniors on this team, and so I expect them to kind of step up here with Ionelli and the Bylos and just a wonderful group there. So I do feel they know they've been to the championship before. They know what it takes. Hopefully they're going to regroup here, get over that late goal in the first half, and come out firing.
Thoughtfully. That's the goaltending play of both sides. Both goalies have had tremendous saves.
Absolutely.
Ionelli looking for Jan Onfeling. Races in, across. Whoa! Heller!
What a cross! What a cross!
Unbelievable cross!
Onfeling to Rossi. What an incredible strike that was. And what were we talking about? We said the Hillers have got to get down to the corner, exploit those defenders, cross the ball in, and make it happen. And it was just like they drew it up, Tom.
Anjima on the corner. Deflected out. Back to Anjim. Crosses it. There's a header just over the net. Goes blind. Looking to charge in. There's a shot. It's in. Goal, Wakefield.
That's a heartbreaker.
Mark Lavernier.
Both teams exchanged goals once again in the second half, and we went to overtime with the game tied 2-2.
Rossi driving in. It's wide. Airs it out to the net, pushed out by Silva. Pops it over. And there's a boot by Onfeling into the box. Rossi out, deflected. Rossi again. Oh, it is deflected out somehow.
After two 10-minute overtime periods, the game remained tied at 2, which led to penalty kicks.
Goalie, 7 goals for each. And a stone!
Almost saved. Owen Silva almost had it. Jack Provencher.
And it's a save, and that's it. Wakefield's gonna win.
Wakefield gets the one-up on the Hillers in sudden death penalty kicks and earns a trip to the Division II state finals. The Hillers' incredible season comes to an end with a record of 15 wins, 3 losses, and 4 ties. Wakefield advances on to the finals with a record of 17-3-2. Congratulations on an incredible run to Coach Sawyer and the rest of the team. You should all be very proud of your incredible run. 5 Hopkinton Hiller athletes recently signed their letters of intent to compete in college. Here's a look at the festivities.
So first up we have Camille Parlov, who's committed to play field hockey at Fairfield University. Well, last fall, Camille was named a junior captain and was also a Tri-Valley League large MVP and team MVP. Camille scored 23 goals last year, becoming the leading scorer on her team as well as in the TVL. She was chosen as the Boston Herald All-Scholastic Award, where she was acknowledged for her excellence in both academics and athletics. This year was her 4th year on varsity and 2nd as a captain. She surpassed 50 career goals and 100 career points by the end of the season. She led her team in goals with a total of 27 by the end of the season, and Camille was also chosen for the Best of 60 All-Star Game, where she would compete this Sunday with other top athletes in Massachusetts. Camille is very excited to start her new journey at Fairfield University and cannot wait to see what the future holds.
Christina get in this one?
Yes.
All right, Christina, okay, and then congratulations. So cute. Oh yeah. Should we all hug?
We go all, everyone get
Let's
in.
go. Come on.
Can we have the entourage in? Entourage.
Looking at me. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry.
Yay! Go
I'm Camille Perlov, and I'm going to Fairfield University.
Excellent. And what made you choose Fairfield?
I chose Fairfield because of the welcoming environment and how close it is to home, and the fact that it's on the beach, and the good academics as well.
Absolutely. And you talk about what it was like playing for Hopkins in high school the last few years?
The last 4 years were just the best. Couldn't have wished for anything better. So grateful that I was able to play with all the girls. And unfortunately, I'm sad to be leaving, but I can't wait to play at Fairfield. So.
All right. And you had a great season. Can you talk about the season you just had?
Well, unfortunately, we only made it to the second round of playoffs, but we definitely had high hopes and high intentions, and we definitely left our mark in the playoffs. So, yeah, very proud of us.
All right, so next we have Logan Del Ponte, who's going to be playing at St. Bonaventure's University for lacrosse. So Logan's a two-sport varsity athlete, 3-time varsity lacrosse captain, and before lacrosse, his Hopkins lacrosse career, he was shortened with COVID season, earning a league all-star and team rookie of the year. During his sophomore season, he was the unanimous coaches vote for league all-star. Junior year, earned a second unanimous all-star designation, leading the league in points, as well as earning Metro West all-star and team MVP honors. Through 3 seasons, Logan has compiled 185 points, 111 goals, and 74 assists. Logan's looking forward to his final spring season and the challenges ahead at the next level.
Nice. Congratulations. This way.
My name is Logan Del Ponte. I play lacrosse. I'm going to St. Bonaventure University.
All right. What made you choose St. Bonaventure?
The team environment, the head coach is great. He's always been very welcoming to all the players, and they're in a very great league. So I'm excited to have some good competition to play against.
All right. You know what you're going to be studying over there?
Business.
Excellent. And what's it been like playing for the Hopkins and Hillers?
It's been great experience. The team environment's great. The Coach Norton, he does a very good job. I'm just excited for the future this year, my senior year.
So Charlie will be going on to play baseball at St. A's next year. Charlie is a two-sport varsity athlete, lettering 3 years in baseball and 3 years in football. Team captain in baseball and football, Tri-Valley League All-Star, All-Tournament Team Award, and Metro West Daily News Pajoli Classic MVP. He's looking forward to his final spring varsity season and the start of his athletic career at St. A's.
I'm Charlie Paterni. I'm going to St. Anselm College to play baseball.
All right. So what made you choose St. Anselm?
St. A's, it's a good academic school. My sister went there. We had a really good coach.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by Andy Barron, Steve Watson, and Jared Keene. All 4 of us are here. It's a miracle. What's going on, guys?
Tom, Jared, Steve, great to be back. Feels like it's been ages since we've all been together.
It has. We've all been busy with high school playoff games and
I was especially very busy with all four Hiller teams making the postseason and boys and girls soccer having incredible runs, heartbreaking ending, but incredible runs. And I know Steve's been very busy with some playoff high school football. Tough loss for Milford to end the season, but what an incredible run Milford had, Steve. It must have been fun to follow that team.
Oh yeah, we had another great team this year. Just fell short in the Final Four, and it's been the sort of the last 2 years too. So it'll sting for a while, but much like every other team that gets knocked out of the playoffs, you lick your wounds and you eventually move on to 2024.
Yep, absolutely. And that was the second season in a row they made the state semis, if I'm correct.
Third straight. King Philip 2 years ago, CM last year, and Walpole this year.
Wow, incredible stuff. That's of course, my alum, Milford. So certainly proud of the Milford football team. They had an incredible season. And speaking of high school football, Turkey Day football. Don't forget, folks, the Hopkinton Hillers will be in Ashland this season for the annual rivalry. I believe it's the 99th meeting between Hopkinton and Ashland, if I'm correct. So I'm pretty excited that, I believe it's 99th. And then next year will be the 100th. So it's one of the oldest rivalries in the state. Hopkinton Hillers, Ashland Clockers. Should be a great game on Turkey Day morning. And Milford is hosting Taunton. So that's another great rivalry. Not so much a Thanksgiving rivalry, but a Hockomock rivalry. But now it's the new Thanksgiving rivalry. Don't they have a long contract with Taunton, Steve, for the Turkey Day football games?
Yes, it's not really a contract per se. They're just playing for the foreseeable future because when they formed that rivalry, those were the last two schools in the Hawk to not play each other on Thanksgiving. Those are the only two not playing a Hawk team. So then, Milford's deal with Maynard, they were looking out on that. And then Taunton had played Cole Cassidy. Cole Cassidy closed. So hence Milford and Taunton looking up. And they have to play each other anyway in league play. So it just kind of worked out.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure they're going to have some excellent games.
Yes, it should be a good competitive game. The first two have been that way, and I think this year and going forward will be too.
Absolutely. Jared, did you cover
What's the oldest rivalry in the state? Is it Wellesley Needham?
I think you're right.
I think so, yeah.
It's either Wellesley Needham and Uxbridge Northbridge.
Yes,
there you go. Yep.
Northbridge is up there.
But guys, just real quick, I want to get your opinion on something. Thanksgiving Day football. Now, when we were growing up, Thanksgiving Day football in this area was massive. And a lot I'm hearing, Steve, you probably can contest this, Jared, I'm sure you can too, Tom as well. But I'm hearing a lot of people talking that these games just don't have the same gravitas that they used to have.
Pizzazz.
And I'm starting to see that because a lot of people saying now, well, the games really don't matter now. Well, because you got a Super Bowl next week, you got teams that are going, they're not probably going to be playing their starters this Thursday. 20, 30 years ago, you had to win that Thanksgiving Day game to get to the Super Bowl. How does this change to get these? Because you're talking Wellesley, Needham, Uxbridge, Northbridge, Hopkinton, Ashland. These are major rivalries, but it just doesn't seem like that they're lacking it now. You could get 1,000, 2,000 people at some of these games. You're just not seeing those crowds anymore. It's kind of sad because Thanksgiving Day football in New England has been huge for generations.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Hopkinton Ashland still draws a huge crowd, regardless of the situation. So that's good to see. But I think it's, the playoff system. Obviously, there's going to be, 16 teams that may or may not be playing their starters because they're going to Super Bowl games. So that's part of it. But it certainly means something to the seniors for sure, especially if it's their last game. I think you'll see a lot of seniors leave it all out on the field. But, yeah, I mean, back in the day when these Thanksgiving games used to determine a playoff situation or if you're going to make a Super Bowl, they certainly maybe meant a little more. But I think especially for some of the games where you got teams not going to the Super Bowl, that those games are still going to mean pretty much the same and draw big crowds. What's your take on it, Steve?
I think the real solution, if you're going to incorporate Thanksgiving back into the schedule as a meaningful game, then you got to slide the winter season down, and you got to slide spring season down, which I think a lot of people would actually be in favor of. I don't know why winter sports has to start the Monday after Thanksgiving. I don't know why spring sports has to start in mid-March. If you slide those down 2 weeks each, that would solve literally every problem that we just talked about.
Possibly. And Jared, are you with us?
I should be. I hope I am. Sorry about my internet.
What's your take on the whole? First off, I was going to ask you before Andy asked this question. Did you cover any high school sports in the postseason? All right, he'll get back to us on that. He's having a little technical glitch. Well,
No.
Oh, there he is. You with us? All right. Well,
I should be.
Oh, there you go. All right. I at least hear you.
I hope so.
So what's your take on the whole high school football Thanksgiving playoff situation? All right. He's having some technical issues. We're not hearing you, Jared. Well, my take is one thing they could do is make Thanksgiving a playoff round. I mean, you do that. Yes. All right. So some of the annual rivalries that you have, you might not have it that year because you're in that playoff round, but that'll make the games mean something and probably create a whole lot more enthusiasm about it. I think it'd be pretty awesome if Thanksgiving was a playoff round. Jared, what's your take on it? All right. Well, he's continuing to have
He's frozen. He's frozen in time.
We're gonna have to get him some internet as well.
Tom, the internet man, to the rescue, right?
Yes. What do you guys think of that, though? Having a playoff round on Thanksgiving, I love the idea.
Totally do. But why can't people get on board with it? Steve and I talk about this all the time. With football and just with it's. I think there's too many people involved, and that's part of the problem. I don't know. I just you can't have your cake and eat it too. So it's got to be one or the other. Like you said, slide the sports back a couple of weeks, and this problem is solved. And now those games do mean something. Tom said it best. You make it a playoff round, and there you go. Most people are off on Thanksgiving anyways. You still play the games early in the morning like you normally do. And I can see what you're saying. I know Hopkinton Ashland, almost 100 years. That's amazing. Uxbridge, Northbridge, Leominster, Fitchburg, who are playing at Fenway Park on Tuesday. King Philip and Franklin are also going to be at Fenway Park this year. I think that's great. So that's going to mean something to those players. If I'm a senior, now King Philip's in the Super Bowl, who has a very good chance of winning the Super Bowl. But if I'm a senior, I want to play that game on Fenway Park. You're never going to get that opportunity again. I'm playing that game, even if it's just for maybe a couple of series. But as an athlete, I just want to play. I want to play, and I think some seniors, especially for the seniors, you got to understand too that some of these seniors, they're not going to play college football. This is it for them. So yeah, that game does mean something to them. But I don't know. It's just I like the new playoff system. By the way, I think it's really good. But there still needs to be a little bit of tweaking here. But maybe that's just the way it's going with this Thanksgiving Day game. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I guess someone's phone's vibrating. I guess with the playoff system, it's kind of give and take. I like the playoff system. I like it as a more narrowed down format instead of having the old system where you had 20, 25 Super Bowls or something like that. Now you just have 8, and I think that's certainly plenty. And it makes the last 3-4 weeks of the regular season interesting because you don't know who you're going to play, as you could either be in a playoff round or a non-playoff or in the non-playoff system. So it certainly keeps the last few weeks interesting. But yeah, it is unfortunate that you don't have so many big games on Thanksgiving anymore. And again, I think if they just make it a playoff round, I think they could change it, and they would get a lot of that anticipation for those Thanksgiving games back, especially if you had semifinals games on Thanksgiving. I think that would be awesome. Could it be done? I don't know. There'd probably have to be a lot of planning on that one, but I think it would be really cool if they could get some playoff games on Thanksgiving. Would certainly give a lot more meaning to the Thanksgiving football games. But I do want to get to our NFL picks. We're going on a week 12 this season, just flying by like crazy. And we're recording this on a Monday, so we haven't seen the Monday Night Football game yet between Philly and Kansas City. Should be a great game. So we won't pick the Philly game and Kansas City game in week 12. But leading into this week, the standings, they have been going a little bit crazy the last few weeks. There's been a lot of changes on pretty much a weekly basis. It's a very competitive season here with our NFL picks, and we've been away for a few weeks, so people probably aren't caught up, so let's catch them up. Standings right now, Mike is in first place, and he's the first to 100 wins. 163 is his record. I'm in second at 98 and 65. Jared in third at 97 and 66. Steve's in fourth at 91 and 72. And Andy is in last at 89 and 74. But we are all still very much in the mix. So in week 12, we got Turkey Day NFL football. So we'll start off with those games. First game, Green Bay at Detroit. Let's see if Jared's internet is working. Jared, you can pick first.
Detroit. I'm going with Detroit. I always roll with Detroit. Detroit for life. Let's go Detroit.
All right. Andy, who do you got?
Is that better, guys, or is this not
better.
as good?
Much better. We can
Okay.
hear you and see you. Andy, who do you got?
Detroit, guys, this is going to be one of the biggest Thanksgiving Day games Detroit's had in a very, very long time. I don't think the Packers have a chance to win this game. Like, I know that the Lions struggled with the Bears this past weekend, but no way. That this is going to be Lions roll.
All right.
Packers only have one healthy running back.
Yeah. No. They're not winning this game.
Who do you got, Steve?
I'm going with the Lions, but I think it'll be closer than most people believe it will be.
All right. I'm going with the Lions as well, but I also believe it'll be a close game because you know what? It's an NFC North divisional game, and the divisional games lately have been all very close, besides the Bills-Jets last week. But besides that, the divisional games have all been very close, pretty much regardless who you get. So I think Green Bay keeps it close, but this is like the first time in like 10 years that Detroit is good on Thanksgiving. So should be interesting. They might actually win on Thanksgiving. It's been a while. We got to go back into the archives, look up the last time Detroit won a Thanksgiving football game. Steve, I'll put you on that mission.
Yeah, got it.
All right. Next Thanksgiving Day game, Washington at Dallas. I am going with the Cowboys here, especially after Washington just had a horrific loss to who'd they lose to? Someone really
Giants.
Lost to the Giants again.
Yes. If you lost to the Giants, you're not beating Dallas. So give me Dallas here. Is anyone going Washington?
No.
Washington's trash.
All right. Dallas across the board.
Dallas by a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they are going to absolutely wallop them.
I think so. I think that game might be a blowout. All right. Thanksgiving night football. We got San Francisco at Seattle. Seattle was not impressive last week. Rough loss to the Rams, game that they definitely should have won. I got to go San Francisco here. I think they're back on the uprise. I think those trade deadline pieces they added are helping. Their defense is looking great again. So give me the 49ers here. Jared, who do you got?
San Fran. Seattle is too inconsistent. Bad loss this weekend. San Fran looked good. Brock Purdy looked good. San Fran.
All right, Steve.
I'm going to go with San Fran in this one. I think we closed two teams who don't have a lot of use for each other. Seattle always plays tough. So San Fran a close one. And by the way, the last of the Lions one on Thanksgiving was 2016.
Wow.
We've lost 6 in a row since then. So.
They play every year on Thanksgiving, and it's been, 6 years since.
Yeah, 2016.
Unbelievable. Andy, who?
Not great.
That's awful.
49ers. Is Geno Smith even playing in this game? I don't know.
He might not.
Bad loss for Seattle this week.
I think he's questionable right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing on a short week like this. I agree with what Tom's saying. I think the 49ers are back on track. They hammered Jacksonville a few weeks ago, and it seems like they're getting back on track here. There's nothing like Thanksgiving Day football, and they're all 3 divisional games this Thursday, but 49ers are winning this one.
I actually lost in fantasy by half a point this weekend, all because Brock Purdy went off. Lost by half a point.
Ooh, yeah.
Boy, that hurts. Sorry to hear that. Well, for the first time ever, we have Black Friday football. Miami at the Jets. I'm going Miami. The Jets, they just can't get anything going offensively. I think they are going to have a rough time the rest of the season getting anything going. Their defense is good. They weren't that great last week, but in general, they're pretty good, but their offense is just a mess. Give me Miami. And let's just do this one this way. Is anyone picking the Jets? All right.
Oh.
It is Miami across the board.
When I got the notification today about the Jets making a QB change, it was the least surprising thing ever.
Yes. Who are they going to go with?
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
Wow. Where's he from? That name sounds very familiar.
No idea. And I usually know where everybody is from. That's like
I think UConn he's from.
Really?
Ooh.
Oh, well played, Steve. Well played.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why that sounds familiar.
there's no way this game's even close. The Dolphins' offense. How are the Jets going to even score points? I mean, and stupid me, I took them to beat the Bills. No wonder I'm 89 and 74
There you go.
because of picks like that. You know, horrible. That game had no business being on at 425. None.
That was
whatsoever.
trash.
No.
That was absolute
Horrible.
trash.
What? They should have put Pittsburgh and Cleveland on at 425. That was a pretty good
Yeah,
game.
would have been better. I agree. Would have been better.
All right, moving on to the Sunday games, the 1 p.m. games. We got New Orleans at Atlanta. I'm going Atlanta in this one, although this is really kind of a coin flipper. I don't know who's going to come out with this one, but I guess I'll go Atlanta. Steve, who do you got?
This one's a tough one. Two more teams who hate each other. I'm going to go with the Saints, though. I think they've been more consistent than the Falcons this year.
All right, Jared.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the tougher games to pick of the weekend. Classic NFC South battle. I'm going with the Saints. I haven't believed in the Falcons all year. They're going back to Desmond Ridder. He didn't really do them much good. I don't know. Heineke, I think, even gives them a better chance to win. So give me the Saints in a weird, wild, crap game.
Andy, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the Saints, but I mean, I don't trust either one of these teams, so I might pull out my tie card, but
Love it. Love it.
Wow, I'm the only one going with Atlanta. I'm either going to look really smart or really stupid. All right. All right. Speaking of tough games to pick, I don't know why this is a 1 o'clock game still. Jacksonville at Houston. The Houston Texans, they have been on absolute fire lately. They're looking good. Andy, you could start this one.
yeah, just real quick, CJ Stroud, this guy's good. He's the real deal. And D'Amico Ryan might be coach of the year. I mean, he's turned this whole team around. It's unbelievable what the Texans are doing. And they're going to do it again this week. I'm picking the Texans. The Jaguars struggle in Houston. And I don't remember the last time they've even won in Houston. This is a huge game for the Texans. I mean, the Jags are 7-3. They're still probably going to be a playoff team even if they lose. But I just think this is a weird spot for them. It's going to be. I like the Texans.
You know what, Andy? You convinced me. I'm going Texans as well. They do. Jacksonville tends to struggle against them, so give me Houston to win this one. Jared, who do you got?
This actually might be harder to pick than Saints Falcons. Crap. Gun to my head. I'm gonna go Jacksonville in a weird game again where everybody's gonna pick the Texans and think they're gonna win, but give me Jacksonville.
All right, Jacksonville. It is for Jared. Steve.
I'll go with Houston. Houston crushed them back in September, October, whenever it was. I think they make it 2-2.
All right, 3 for Houston, 1 for Jacksonville. But I'll tell you what, I think both of these teams are going to end up making the playoffs.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
look good. Teams that
Again, I'm either probably going to look really dumb or really smart here, but I'm letting it ride.
There you go. It's two good teams. It could really go either way. I think
that Texans passing attack is insane.
It is
insane.
All right. Here's two teams that probably won't make the playoffs. Tampa Bay at Indy. This is an ugly game. Steve, you could start this one.
I'm going to go with the Colts. They're at home. They're coming off a bye. They've been a lot better than I thought they'd be. And Tampa's just too up and down. So I'll take the Colts.
All right. Andy.
I'm going with the Colts as well. I agree with Steve. It's just Tampa's too hot and cold here. But the Colts still, I don't think are really even that good either. I just got to pick somebody. I'm just going to pick the Colts.
All right, Jared.
Yeah, I don't really know why I'm going with the Colts. Just because you guys went with the Colts, I'm going with the Colts. This is another crap game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go Tampa just because.
Love it, Tom. Love it. What, Mike Evans, 10 catches for 300 yards and 10 touchdowns?
Yeah. Yeah, see, you never know. Well, that's the thing about Tampa. They might not be that good, but any day, Evans or Godwin could go off. So,
yeah,
could happen. Could happen. This could actually turn into a really high-scoring game between these two teams.
That Tampa defense is bad, though.
Indy's isn't great either.
It's just two bad teams.
Speaking of two bad teams, these might be the two worst teams in the league. The New England Patriots at the New York Giants. Andy, who you going with?
He's going to the Giants.
Wait, no. I'm not letting you steal my thunder. I'm going with the Giants. Okay. Now you can pick.
Okay. Who's the Giants quarterback again?
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
The Tommy DeVito era has begun.
Yes.
With the New York Giants, and it will continue this week. Giants are winning this game.
All right.
That's all I have to say.
I'm glad I snuck my pick in before you
That's okay.
steal my thunder.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Tommy DeVito. I think he's good. Patriots they're a mess. They can't get anything going whatsoever. They just lost 10-6 to the Colts. So I got no faith in them. It's going to be Giants. Jared.
I'm very tempted to pick a tie here, like a 3-3 tie. I mean, good Lord, guys. This is does it get any worse?
No.
I'm going with the Patriots. Screw it.
All right, Steve.
I can't bear myself to pick the Giants here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have went to Steve first because now Jared's stole his thunder. Who are you going with?
I'm going with the Patriots, and I think the Pats will actually play halfway decent on Sunday.
Yes, Steve.
You are
okay. So is Mac the starter Sunday? He can't be the starter.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
But he gives you the best chance to win right now. Greer hasn't taken any first team reps, and I don't think Zachary is really any better than Jones at this point. So you may as well go with Mac. At this point, I don't think anyone in the quarterback room now is going to be here next year anyway. At this rate, if this continues, so just let it ride. There's no fixing this situation. There's not. So it doesn't really matter. Just show up, have fun, and try and win.
I think Giants win it 10-3. All right, Carolina at Tennessee, another great matchup.
Oh gosh, man!
I think this is actually worse than past Giants.
This is atrocious.
Yeah,
borderline.
Some bad
These
matchups here.
1:00 games are horrible.
Gosh,
Absolutely awful.
I'm waiting for you to
Besides
say a good
Jacksonville,
matchup, and it's only getting worse, Tom. Jesus.
Besides Jacksonville, Houston, these games are miserable.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right, is anyone going with Carolina?
No, Carolina's atrocious.
No.
All right, Tennessee across the board.
Actually,
Okay.
give me a tie. No. I'm going Tennessee. I was tempted to take a tie there.
No, we're all going to. Oh, I see what you're saying.
No,
All right.
Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay, another 1:00 game. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. The Bengals, they just had a really rough break. They just lost Joe Burrow for the season. That really stings. I think they were on the verge of getting right back in. Well, they were in the race, really, but they were on the verge of becoming one of the best teams in the AFC, I think. But all those plans have pretty much folded and fell miserably. Pittsburgh, they're fresh off a loss against a good Cleveland defense. But I got to go Pittsburgh here. I think losing Joe Burrow is going to bring the Bengals down, unfortunately. Steve, who you going with?
Yeah, since he didn't even look that great with Joe Burrow, now without him, I don't love their odds at all. I'll take Pittsburgh all day in this one.
Right. Andy?
Pittsburgh, I mean, the Bengals, they have no shot. I mean, they just lost their franchise quarterback. It's gonna be a rough day for them on Sunday.
Jared?
Upset of the week, Cincinnati.
Oh.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Like it, Jared.
Okay. Hear me out. Every time I've picked Pittsburgh, they've lost, and every time I've picked against Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh has won. I'm done with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is in my crap list right now. Pittsburgh can, Tomlin, Pittsburgh, everybody can get in the bin. I'm going Cincinnati by like 42-3.
All right.
Wow.
Jamar
Good take.
Chase, 5 touchdowns.
I like it. 3 for Pittsburgh, 1 for Cincinnati. If you're right about that one,
That'd be a big one, Jared.
That would be massive.
That would be.
All right, we got the 4:00 games. Rams at Arizona.
Oh my days.
Considering the Rams just beat Seattle. Actually, I can't pick Arizona. I'm going Rams. Jared.
Cooper Kupp is injured though. Cooper Kupp probably isn't going to play this weekend.
Oh. Yeah, I'll still go Rams. Jared.
I'm going to the tie here. Screw it. I have to. I can't. Both these teams suck.
These are horrible games. Well, most of them. There's a couple of them, but
Wow.
Steve, who you going with?
I'm gonna take Arizona. They played Houston really hard. They nearly pulled that game out. So they've been playing better since Kyler came back. But much like the other matchups that we've discussed, I don't think it's going to be great. But I'll take the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, Kyler's back. Never mind. Give me Arizona. I'm changing my pick.
Oh, actually, give me Arizona.
See?
Whatever. Give me Arizona as well. I can't pick a tie.
All right, Andy.
I'm going to take Arizona. Steve made a good point. They did play a little bit better when Kyler Murray came back. Actually, if Arizona wins, it's going to help the Patriots out. So it's
Yep.
it's the way I look at it. The only team,
Draft pick.
yeah, for draft pick, yeah.
Yep.
All right,
So I
Arizona.
hope Arizona.
I'm glad no one falls behind in the standings on that game because it's so bad. All right, Cleveland at Denver. Denver, they've looked good the last couple of weeks. They snuck out a win against Minnesota. That was an atrocious loss by Minnesota, by the way. Vikings.
Bad loss.
the Vikings had that game the whole way, and then they just completely blew it. Bad loss.
Classic Vikings right there.
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
I'm very torn on this matchup. So, Andy, you can pick first.
I'm going to go with the Broncos. They've won 4 straight. I thought they were dead in the water. They have played a lot better. I don't know if I'm really sold on this Browns team yet. Like they're 7-3 somehow. Like, whoa, I look at the standings today. I'm like, Browns are 7-3. But I don't know. There's still something about them I don't like. And I think they're going into a tough situation here, going into Denver, and the Broncos have got a lot of momentum right now. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Broncos are going to pull this out.
All right, Steve.
I go with the Broncos. They've been playing really well lately. Sean Payton seems to have that operation turned around. Cleveland's a good team, though. They have a good defense. Their offense, you've lost Chubb, you've lost Watson, so that's going to be tough. They'll have to figure that out as they go. Two teams really who've played well lately, but I think the Broncos have the edge.
All right, Jared.
I'm going Cleveland here. Steve made the point. Cleveland has a really, really, really good defense. This team can play some defense. And Denver does not have a great rush defense. If Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt can get it going, yeah, give me Cleveland.
All right, I'm with you, Jared. I'm going Cleveland as well. I am not sold on the Broncos. I think they've had more luck than anything else.
Same.
They just get these turnovers deep in their opponent's territory, but I'm still not convinced they could drive all the way up the field. And until they prove that, I don't. If they beat Cleveland and win 5 in a row, that'll certainly sell me a little more on them, but I'm just not sold on them. I just don't trust them. So I'll go Cleveland here. All right. We got Kansas City at Las Vegas. We'll hold off on that one. And we got Buffalo.
Oh, give me KC by like $1 million there. Jesus.
All right.
KC, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to KC.
All right. KC
No,
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no one's picking the Raiders.
Buffalo at Philly. We'll hold off on that one. Let's see how Philly plays.
Philly.
Philly.
Philly in that one.
I'm not picking yet. I'm going to see how they do first. All right. We're going to go to Sunday Night Football.
I mean, Buffalo lost to us. Philly is legit.
We'll see tonight. See tonight.
Be a good one tonight, yeah.
If they lose to Kansas City, that might set them back a little bit. But has Philly really hasn't beaten anyone good. Well, they beat Dallas, but have they beat anyone good? Not really.
Regardless, they can play.
And they did lose the Jets, but still they find ways to win games where other teams find ways to lose them.
Well, and you know why we don't pick that? What if and I hope this doesn't happen because I don't wish injuries.
Well, if there's injuries, then we'll change the pick. But I'm telling you right now.
Tonight, okay? Nope, your pick's already in. You can't change it now. All right, Sunday Night Football, Baltimore at the Chargers.
Oh, God, I'm picking Baltimore. I'm starting Baltimore. I can't stand Staley.
I'm picking the Chargers. Steve, you picking the Chargers?
No, and all right, here's a bold prediction for you. I think the Ravens are going to beat the Chargers. Chargers are going to fall to 4-7. They're going to fire Brandon Staley.
Yes.
On Monday. I think they're going to fire him on Monday.
All right.
Could happen. Chargers are not going in the right direction.
And he should have been fired anyway. He is the worst coach in football.
There's talent on that Chargers. There's talent on that Chargers team too. I mean, they should not be as bad as they are. Justin Herbert should be better.
All that talent and they're 4-6. That's a joke.
All right, I'm going off on a rant here. Staley is the worst coach in the history of football I've ever seen in my life. This guy is absolutely atrocious. I mean, give me a break. Go back to D3. I'm done. I'm done with Staley. I'm done with the Chargers. They have so much talent. Herbert, Eckler, Keenan Allen. How there could be 4-7?
And they draft really well, especially receivers. They draft extraordinarily well.
Oh, God.
I don't know how they lost that game to Green Bay. That was bad.
Oh, you can't lose that game. That's a game you got to win.
So the Chargers, they've now lost to Green Bay, who's a terrible team, and they've lost to Tennessee, who's a terrible team.
Well, I'll tell you this: if the Raiders turn it around, and they're on a bit of a winning streak, if they turn it around, I think Josh McDaniels might be the worst head coach of all time.
With Josh, all-time great coordinator. as a head coach, unfortunately, it hasn't
pretty
happened
bad
for him.
coach.
Yeah.
But I'm very anti-Staley. It's well known. Yeah, I'm picking everybody against the Chargers the rest of the season.
It's a big game for
I might pick
Baltimore, though.
I might pick the Patriots against the Chargers for
I might
hell's
too,
sake.
because their coaching is just that bad.
All right, let's move on to this epic Monday night football game. You're going to get a laugh out of this one. Chicago at Minnesota.
Gosh.
This might be the worst game of the week. Okay, these are two teams that are just horrible. Absolutely horrible. I hope they both lose, but I don't know. I'll go Minnesota. They're the home team. Andy, who are you going with?
Minnesota. Chicago's just not good. Minnesota, I thought they were starting to turn the corner there, and then they just that bad loss to Denver. But they're better than Chicago. I think we all agree with that.
Right, Jared?
Double upset of the week, Chicago. Justin Fields is back. He's going to run the show.
Wow.
Wow. And
Jared's on a rampage tonight.
You were worried
Oh man.
You were worried about Jacksonville over Houston. Steve, who are you going with?
Well, but before I pick, flex scheduling now includes Mondays and Thursdays, right?
Yeah.
So they had their chance to move Jacksonville, Houston, which is probably the best game of the entire week.
Yep.
Into Monday night for this craptacular game, and they didn't do it.
Yep.
So what's the point in having flex scheduling expanded to Monday and Thursday?
Right.
If you're going to put, what? Because it's Chicago, it's a big market. Who cares? They're a lousy team. It's just nonsense. You should have Jacksonville, Houston, and that's what. But at any rate, CJ Stroud's an MVP candidate, and no one's seen him play because he hasn't played on national TV.
Right. And Trevor Lawrence is also the future of the league as well. Jacksonville's gotten a lot better. It's a divisional It's a divisional game too. Another divisional game.
I just think the powers that be are a little too obsessed with the big markets. Like, if it's a lousy team, don't show them. Who cares?
Yeah.
But at any rate, this game I'm going with the Vikings. I think they're just far better than the Bears at this point. The Bears have played a little better lately, but the Vikings have to. They lost a tough one last night, but the Vikings still have a shot at the playoffs. The Bears don't. So I think the Vikings will pull this one out.
All right. There you have it. Our week 12
Oh,
picks.
crap. All right, never mind.
It's going to be very interesting. A lot of interesting games, to say the least, in week 12. All right. Well, we are out of time, but we do have a little time for final thoughts. Andy, any final thoughts?
Well, just real quick, just talking about the Patriots. If we were on a few weeks ago, I mean, we would have been going on some of the biggest tirades I think this show has maybe ever seen. And I know we talk a lot in a group text in the Sundays, but I can tell you this, guys, I'm done with all this. Like, I'm done with just the direction of this team. I'm done with the nitpicking and just we're not playing this guy and this guy's not playing, and changes are so desperately needed at this team at the end of the season. You cannot bring this team back. There has to be changes, and it starts with the owner stepping in and not being a fan and being an owner. He has to make changes. Otherwise, this team is free falling, and they're going to continue to keep free falling, and they're going to become irrelevant. Because what I saw in Germany 2 weeks ago was embarrassing, and I'm done. I'm out of steam. I'm out of energy. Like, they're a lousy football team. They did it to themselves. And as I gave him a break after the year Brady left, but after he won the Super Bowl in Tampa, that was when they had to show me, and they have not done so. They have failed miserably. They have to make changes.
I agree. They have just been a sinking ship that is just going to continue to sink. I think it's time for drastic changes and a head coaching change. I think it's time. Belichick needs to retire. Steve, any final thoughts?
Well, the Pats and Red Sox are certainly not beacons of hope. I think the Pats will have big changes coming up. There's no one I even really want back. I'm still pro Belichick. If he wants to come back, I'd love to have him back. Players, save for Judon and Christian Gonzalez, I'm good with everyone walking, honestly. Offensively, it's a pile of trash. The whole operation. Matt Patricia did a better job last year with this offense, which is kind of sad to think about.
I'll take Demario Douglas back.
I would take Demario Douglas back too, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Besides Jordan Gonzalez.
The bottom line, there's nothing to cling on to there. There's nothing positive. I think they'll win a couple more games, finish 4-13. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. A very interesting offseason. The good news, though, Bruins and Celtics are both off to great starts, both beacons of hope in this town. So, for years, the Sox and Pats were always beacons of hope, and sometimes the two teams on Causeway Street weren't, but this year they are. So enjoy that. Enjoy Thanksgiving football. If you're lounging around in the morning, get to a game, support your local teams, and stuff your face with turkey and all that stuff.
Right. Jared, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I got two. I love the Bruins. You guys know that, but Milan Lucic is a disgrace. What happened this weekend is atrocious. I don't know what a better way to put it. You cannot do that. You can't get hammered and go home and choke your wife. Give me a break. That's awful. I was pretty shocked when I heard it, but at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's no place for that ever. Yeah, I know. It sucks, but atrocious. Other thing I'll say, got to really feel for Jordan Travis, Florida State quarterback. That was one of the worst injuries I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys saw that.
It was gross.
That was brutal.
That was absolutely disgusting. Obviously, his college career is over. I'm not a big Florida State fan by any means, but that was pretty gruesome, and definitely got a feel for him.
Yes, that was absolutely horrible. It's an unfortunate part of football, those horrible-looking injuries, unfortunately, but we certainly wish him the best and hope he gets better very soon. All right. Well, my final thoughts. Belichick needs to go. Belichick needs to go. And Belichick needs to go. Okay. It's time to completely change everything. Belichick has failed for about 4 or 5 years now, and they have just continued to get worse. And you're not going to go anywhere with Belichick at the helm. You need and he's also the GM. So there's a tremendous lack of talent on this Patriots team. It has been destroyed from what it was in those dynasty years. So it's time to move on from Belichick. Probably time to move on from Mac Jones as well and draft another guy, but start completely over from the ground up and get a GM in here that'll actually spend some money, because they have been ridiculously cheap, and this is why they are absolutely horrible, and it's only going to continue to get worse if they keep doing the same thing over and over again. It is not working any longer. But that is going to wrap it up for this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Oh, yeah, and Hillary Winter Sports coming soon. Be on the lookout for the broadcast schedule on our website, hcam.tv. But for Andy Barron, Steve Watson, Jared Keene, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.